Hey Nick, have you ever been into like competitive sports? Because I was like a huge like gymnast, like competed for a long time. So did you ever do anything like that?
Oh, no, I played a little league basketball whenever I was a kid, but nowadays I'd cut my dick off for a gold medal.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get one in the
after watching those
Olympics.
Winter Olympics.
Man, hyped up.
Hey guys, hello! It's your favorite final girl Emily and your favorite final boy Nick coming at you with a new episode of Gag Me with a Knife, weekly podcast where we dissect, disembowel, and shred the best and worst slasher movies. This week we'll be stabbing through 1984's Fatal Games. As always, Emily has a VHS copy, so let's hear what's on the back of that box.
To what extreme can the end justify the means? At the Falcon Academy of Athletics, dedicated young athletes train and compete intensely in preparation for the upcoming Olympic Games. Several young female competitors mysteriously disappear, but no one imagines that they have been slain by a javelin-bearing murderer. Far too many people at the academy have motives. Dr. Jordan with his illegal use of drugs in training, overly demanding Coach Weber, lesbian Coach Drew, therapist Diane Payne, a maternal figure who takes her work into the bedroom. Will Annie meet the same fate as her fellow athletes, or can she outsmart the killer? 1984, your thoughts?
You know, I thought I wasn't going to like this movie, and I ended up liking it okay. It has the quality of a cheap porno, which I have no problem with, actually. The only problem I truly had with it, besides a few little plot holes, was it suffers from bad editing. But other than that, I really thought I was going to hate this, and no, it's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not hailing it, but
no.
It's watchable.
I enjoy it. I don't think it's like has huge rewatchability for me, but the second time Fatal Pulse, the second time I watched that, I enjoyed it a lot more. But I also had people watching it with me, which I think does make a difference when you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
Like you can enjoy the hilarity a little bit more when you're watching it with other people. And I liked it a little bit more the second time. And then we watched this movie, and I liked it a little less than I had before. But I still like it. It's enjoyable. But
I thought it was going to be another Pieces, and it's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely nothing like that.
I wouldn't watch it again, but no, it's worth a watch.
So we start out at the Falcon Academy of Athletics U.S. Regionals competitions in Brookfall, Massachusetts. They're doing this is all during the credits. They're doing gymnastics, track, and swimming.
Gymnastic montage.
Yeah, there's a montage of all of those things.
But that song is awesome.
Take it to the limit, or it's like
take it to the limit. Just give it all you gotta do, and then the chorus is a little confusing. It says, "Winning isn't everything. Winning is the only thing."
Well, that's true for them.
Oh, that means it's everything.
Well, I think only is, I don't know, whatever.
It's a low rent Eye of the Tiger.
It's very reminiscent, actually, to an episode we have already covered, or a movie we've already covered called Graduation Day, except for that's only about track, and really the beginning is only, that's very similar, though. The opening has a really fucking awesome song, actually better song than this one, and it's a montage of track.
It's better than Eye of the Tiger in that it's weird and it's trying to rip off Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah, it was written by the same guy that did a bunch of like popular 80s kids cartoon
oh, really?
theme songs, and it was co-written by his wife, who was one of the writers on Dallas. Anyway.
Okay.
So we see gymnastics, track, and swimming montages of those three sports. So those are the sports that we're probably going to be diving into. And then
see what you did there.
Yeah, no. And it does cut on the gymnastics for the longest, but I guess that's because gymnastics is the most interesting to watch and everyone knows it. So we cut from then to a banquet for the athletes that are going to nationals because they had just won the U.S. regionals competition.
Banquet with a napkin shortage.
Yeah, there's a fight that breaks out. Okay, so there's a long napkin across the entire banquet table, which I think who like
that was Frank. That was Frank's handiwork.
Who told us what it was? I was just like, what the hell is that? Was it Jessica? Did Jessica inform us of this napkin?
I'm not sure. Is it one of those things from the bathroom that they used to have in the old ones where it's just a towel that rolls around and you dry your hands on?
It was just a long napkin that went across the entire table, and
there's a big paper towel.
There's this huge fight that breaks out over it, and it's like a tug of war thing.
Well, during this fight, I think it's funny. So it starts out as like a simple food fight while the sports administrators are speaking. And at one point, it cuts off right before she does it, but this one chick grabs an orange. It's like, jeez. What the fuck, man?
Why? Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, it's all fun. Everybody else is like flicking meatballs at each other and then like peas and stuff like that. And then this one girl's just like, no, I'm going for it.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going to fucking nationals. Y'all can shut up.
You're getting a grapefruit to the dome.
Or maybe she didn't make it and she was mad. I don't know. So it cuts after that to a couple in an apartment arguing. And I can't. The names of these characters, they're not said that much, so I get confused.
Is the dude. I can't remember.
Frank? I think Frank and Lynn. I think
Frank and Lynn. Yeah.
Frank and Lynn. They're arguing.
You forgot to say goodnight.
Yeah, and then the guy, he's looking for something, and then the scene turns sexy.
No, here's what happens. She's bitching at him. She's like, you also forgot to say I love you. And then he's looking for his shorts and his shirt, and she's in a bathrobe. And they're in this like weird, like, it's a bedroom, but it's like a pit, and she walks out of the hallway onto this like ledge, and it's like bad design, because if you were drunk and the lights are off, you'd fall off this thing.
It's like Ian's house.
Sort of. But she opens, and then after he's just like, I need my stuff or whatever, she opens up the bathrobe, and she's wearing his track uniform or whatever.
That's what he was looking for.
Yeah. And I was thinking, like, what a weird way to get laid from the guy you're dating. And also, guys aren't that picky. You don't have to do like this cat and mouse mating dance. You know, she wanted to, make it different. Well, I don't know. Then she falls into bed with him. He pulls her shirt off, says goodnight and I love you, and
but then they take a shower together.
That's after
Yeah, and the girl is Lynn. She voices her concern about the meds that the doctors are giving them. Well, turns out now we call it. What's it called now?
Well, Frank, it's called juicing.
Well, no, in competition when they get caught for it, it's called. I'm
not exactly I don't know what the penalty's called.
It's called. Just go on and I'll think about it.
Yeah, but he gives her the thing. He's like, hey, just like any other stand-up guy would do to his girlfriend who's like expressing concern. He goes, hey, everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
Come on, take a little.
Yeah, it's whatever. Like when people get caught for it now, they get disqualified from the competition. But it's not juicing. It's you can even there's a list of drugs, so it can be a lot of different things. But they are actually being given steroids, so it's like the top tier. They're being given injections. Bad.
Anabolic steroids. Is that what they're called?
Bad competing. Dosing. Doping. That's it. Yes, doping.
Well, I grew up with doping was you were an idiot doping around, and then becoming a doper was a druggie.
Yeah, but doping scandals are sports scandals where they find out that the athlete has been taking something that's enhancing their performance.
Then what is juicing?
I think you're just talking about a cleanse or something.
Oh, is that actually just like getting a juicer?
Maybe it's juicing is, I think, just like a cleanse of detoxing your body.
What if you're like sucking on a tube of ivermectin? Is that juicing? No, that's deworming.
Okay. So,
if you have horseworms, take that shit.
And it cuts to one of the coaches.
A very condescending coach.
It's like the head coach. There are coaches for each sport, but this is like seemingly the head coach of all of that. I don't know. Maybe the athletic director. He dips his
toes in a few jacuzzis.
Yeah. He's giving all the different people that are in different sports a talk about nationals, and he says that they're adding 2 hours to their practices, and then he says something like, I never made it to the Olympics. So there's our first red herring, because maybe he is pissed and gonna kill people because he didn't make it to the Olympics.
It's always healthy too to take out your failures on children. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it cuts to swimming. The coach of this team it's the woman. I think it's Coach the lesbian.
Drew.
Is it the lesbian
yes,
Drew?
Yes. Sure is.
Yes. She and I, whatever. I can't believe that they had to like put that on the back of that. Whatever. Okay, so it was 1984, so that makes sense. They're swimming, and the coach sits someone out to watch Shelly and Lynn because she's like, "You need to watch them," or something. And then it cuts.
Look at the ones that are better than you.
Yeah. And I think the one she sits out she's having an affair with one of the students there.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I think it's her girlfriend.
She gets real seedy.
I think it's her girlfriend that she sits out. I'm not sure.
Later, she gets real pimpish.
Well, because
with
her girlfriend doesn't make it to nationals.
Yeah, and we'll talk about that.
Well,
in a minute.
yeah, that gives her a motive.
It's a very, very weird scene.
So it cuts to the competitors getting physicals, and someone, I think it's a doctor, says the steroids are paying off. So they're very
They're
overt.
upfront with it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at this point too, people were taking steroids and competing.
They're all about getting doped.
Yeah, there were any doping scandals, I guess, at the time.
Go to this doping party.
So, yeah. There's a javelin thrown with ominous music by Joe, who was
Javelin Joe.
He actually, throws the javelin as his sport, but the actor is also from the 1980 movie Boogeyman. He plays the weird brother, but and he's just as bad in this movie as he is in Boogeyman.
He's still a weird brother.
And his coach is like, "Joe, give me the muscle."
Dude, yeah. This coach is like not giving any like positive reinforcement at all.
No, he's really mad.
He's just insulting him to try and get him to like go harder in like anger or something.
I mean, to be honest,
which is the second red herring, even though we haven't seen it yet.
Joe is the second red herring, but to be honest, in my experience, not every child is alike. Unfortunately, that kind of enforcement, like being really mean and pushing someone that way, that's what worked for me, which was very unfortunate. I did better when people were like that to me.
Like a whiplash thing, like, not my fucking tempo, Joe.
Well, I remember at a meet, I messed up really bad on bars, and I was really good that year on bars, so I was like not thinking about
like rapping.
Uneven
You're dropping bars?
Gymnastics competing,
okay,
and I messed up, and the coach was like, we had one more.
But you do rap, don't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Of course, and and
I know you have officially rapped before.
Yeah, officially. And one time, not one time. We only had one event left, which was Beam, and he goes, if you don't, I mean, he's yelling at me in front of the whole meet, everybody, and he's like, if you don't do Beam well, then it's going to be bad in the. Something bad's going to happen at practice. He scared the shit out of me.
It's not a thing to say to a child.
Ended up, he scared me, and he was screaming at me, and everyone heard him. And I ended up getting gold on Beam. So that sucked, kind of, because then he realized that's how he could get me to do well. So, yeah, anyway, so there's a fight between Joe and the coach, but then it isn't a fight, and it's kind of over. And
well, no, he says, "What do you want, man? You just want me to be shit? You think I'm shit, don't you?" And then the coach, after all this bullshit he gives him, goes, "No, I think you're great. But don't let it go to your head." And it's like, wow, what a fucking backhanded compliment. After, like, he just sat there basically being like, "You suck, you suck, you suck." Yeah.
Well, it works for Joe, maybe, but
I mean, not in the end.
We have two scenes cut together. They're not necessary, but they're locker room scenes of the girls and the guys, gratuitous nudity, towel fights with men, ha ha ha, fun times.
Yeah, that's I was in high school once, and I had to take gym, and I tried to start one of those towel fights up, and man, it did not work out. They took me straight to the showers. Then they turned me into a man.
Well, that's questionable at this point, but it makes sense.
No, that was maybe they turned me into a woman.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of. Annie cuts to Annie and the others. They're going out, but Nancy wants to stay back to train. I don't remember what sport she does, but whatever. So Nancy's hitting the weights, and she is pumping iron
and happy about it. She's smiling.
She's so excited. She loves it. And literally out of nowhere, a javelin's thrown and pulls her off of her feet.
Yeah, she lifts
with
up
the force of it and pierces her against the wall.
It's an Olympic throw.
Yeah, it was. I mean, whoever's shooting should have gone to the Olympics. Wonder if they did.
Well, even right during the scene, like everybody, like.
So is Joe the guy because he throws the javelin? Is the coach the guy because he wanted to go to the Olympics?
And we've only met a select few of
There's so many
authority figures before this. It's Coach Drew, Diane the nurse, and then what's
Joe's
the
not an authority
professor's
figure, but he's kind of a red herring because he throws a javelin.
Yeah,
so.
and he's angry.
Yeah.
He's the one who got in a fight with Frank over the napkin at the beginning.
Yeah.
But, yeah, which I still don't understand. It was like Joe was pulling the napkin towards him because he wanted to wipe his mouth where Frank had. Yeah. It's almost like they kissed. But right outside, whenever Nancy is going to work out, there's this weird little scene in the parking lot where everybody's trying to figure out what they want to do. And this is the beginning of the, I guess, athletic jock humor. I can't remember what they say, but it's like, oh, you're not going to come out with this, Nancy? And they go, well, we got enough dumbbells right here.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa, zinger.
So she dies. I don't really know what happens to her body yet. And it cuts to the doctors having a fight over whether or not to use the steroids because the doctor is like, it's working. The nurse,
the kids are getting stronger, more powerful, sexier.
How they describe her on the back of the box? The therapist, she's the nurse, Diane.
Yeah.
She's against it. So that's the end of that. And
it's weird. It's like later we might see why, but I still don't understand.
I understand why.
Okay.
Yeah. The next scene, Joe is trying to lay Nancy again. Wait.
No.
Annie.
Annie.
No, that's not Joe.
Phil is trying to fuck Annie.
Then why did
because it's like the next day, right?
But Joe picks up a javelin for some reason. Oh, he's gone to like find Nancy or something.
Yeah.
Okay, and he picks up a javelin. So that's also, okay, it was a him. But no one knows where Nancy is.
And yeah, Annie asks Phil.
Before that, though, she gets that massage.
Oh, yeah. But this is after. She runs into Phil and she said,
she gets a massage before that.
Okay, well, it's a lesbianic massage from Diane.
Yeah.
It starts getting freaky and Annie gets freaked out and runs.
Yeah.
But she runs into Phil and she asks if he... Apparently, every time a kid goes missing in this, everybody's just like, have you seen him? And everybody goes, no.
It's mainly Annie that asks people, and they're just like, no.
But she says, have you seen Nancy? He goes, I haven't seen Nancy, but you want to come over to my apartment later and bob up and down on my bed? And then he just runs off.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck, dude?
So, in the next scene, they're all leaving the training center, and Sue stays behind because she's going to San Francisco to see her boyfriend graduate.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I'll see y'all when I get back from San Francisco. They all leave, and they're all still asking about Nancy. No one knows.
No one really cares.
No.
Annie does.
Annie does, yeah. And then there's this shadow of a killer with a javelin in the training building. And then we see Sue, and she's in a steam room. And then we see the shadow again with hilarious breathing again.
Oh, yeah.
She starts to get the creeps, I guess. She starts running.
At this point in the movie, I started wondering, does this place not have any, like, night janitors?
No.
Or, like, a guard or something?
No, random people show up at night, but it's never someone
it seems
like they should be there.
It seems to be kind of like an upper class place, like I don't know, like
yeah. How
Ivy
are they
League,
keeping
but
it up?
They're training like potential Olympic medalists.
Well, we find out at the end that there definitely hadn't been a janitor there. They would have found a bunch of stuff. So anyway,
These kids are very tidy.
Yeah, and
even they cleaned up that food fight earlier.
Yeah, probably. They probably had to as their like punishment for winning regionals. I don't know.
Well, somebody got hit in the head with a grapefruit and then it was all over.
So we're back to Sue. She's in the training room. She's kind of getting creeped out, and she starts getting chased. But at the same time, we cut to outside.
She gets naked sauna chase.
Yeah, but outside, Annie's talking about how she forgot her textbooks in the building, and so she needs to get back in. Sue's also being chased back and forth at this time. So
also another thing, I mean, I understand she's probably cramming for a text, but most kids that forgot their textbooks would probably just be like, fuck it.
Well, Annie's still bitching about this textbook outside, and they're like, you can get it later, and she's like, but my dad's going to kill me over my grades, blah, blah, blah. He says I have to quit this academy if I don't get my grades up and all this stuff. And Sue is actually in the window
banging
the
on
upstairs.
It, still doesn't know.
There's the only window with light, and she's banging on the window and calling for help, but no one sees it, no one hears it. And then she finally realizes that no one is going to turn around, and she runs away, and then at that point is javelined. I don't know if that is a term, but I made it a term.
Did you notice that when she's in the window, she's banging on the window? Of course, she could have opened it and yelled for help. I don't know.
It didn't look like those windows were very openable.
I'm pretty...
Well, they are later, but I mean...
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. But whenever Annie looks up at the window and Sue has already gone, she put the blinds back down. I'm not joking. It's like she's getting chased, but she's naked, getting chased by a killer, and she's screaming out a window. So, well, might as well close them.
Annie, she's dead now. She's been javelined. Sue is. The doors are locked when Annie's trying to get in. So, then it shows Sue being dragged by the killer, and then it's Annie and Phil, I think, and they're trying to get in through a window. So. Someone's window works.
Well, they get into this window multiple times.
He
it's
says,
the bathroom window.
Phil's like, I'm waiting in the car because there's a ball game on
Phil's
the radio.
a stand-up dude. Hey, have you seen my friend who's missing? No, but you want to go fuck? Hey, I'm going to wait in the car while you break and enter.
Yeah. But she does get in. Then she's looking over for her books, and I guess she does find him. I don't know. It didn't really show. She just leaves. And it cuts to the doctor who's on the phone with the cops because there's no Nancy. And then they talk about how Sue Ellen didn't show up either, but that's quickly dismissed because they talk about how she was supposed to go to San Francisco, so she wouldn't have been
she had
there.
an alibi.
She had an alibi. And then we cut to gymnastics practice. Annie's worried because her grades have gone down. She's already talked about this. That's why she needed her textbook. And her parents want to pull her out of the program. And then she asks if the coach has seen Nancy.
Well, right before that, she's talking, and Annie's talking to her dad, and her dad's like...
So that's after.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Because before that is a track meet, and Joe wins.
Oh, no, Phil wins.
I'm sorry.
Phil's the track dude,
javelin is part of track and field.
Yeah, like decathlon
so
stuff
he wins
or whatever.
too. But and then it cuts to Annie talking to her dad over her grades. He wants to pull her out of this academy, but she loves gymnastics and don't make me give it up. And I don't have that long to do this, and I'll get too old. And that's true, because by the time you're like in your mid-20s, like that is a very difficult sport.
And her dad says that. He basically tells her, like, you're playing a hooker's game. You're going to age out of this.
But I get, it doesn't really end the conversation, but I guess she convinces him to let her stay because she does. And then Annie's talking with Lynn, and Lynn's like, I'm going to go swimming because she's a swimmer. She's going to go practice. I don't mean she's just going to go for a dip. But she's swimming, and the killer unlocks the doors, but Frank gets in and gets her to leave.
Yeah, the killer's scared of Dong.
Yeah, much to the chagrin of the killer. Mm-hmm. So the boyfriend-girlfriend, Frank and Lynn, have a swimming race first. Ha, ha, ha. And the killer's like weird about it. He leaves.
Yeah, and then they have some real hot pool sex.
And then we cut to a swim meet.
Yep.
And after that...
They're swimming in that same pool, and you know what Frank and Lynn did.
Yeah, I know.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, we've talked
all the chlorine in the world.
We've talked about water stuff.
The water puppies?
Water sex.
Yeah.
It's gross.
It's hard. It's weird.
And then we cut to Joe.
It's like car sex.
Who's practicing throwing the javelin.
It seems like that's all he's been doing.
Yeah. Well, he's from my experience with him as an actor in Boogeyman, it's probably good that he was just sticking to this because he is real bad. He takes a break to drink some water.
Or spray it on his face.
Yeah, he does that, but he's also drinking it. But while he's doing that, a javelin is thrown through his back and pins him into the ground.
From, like, the bleachers. Yeah. It's an amazing shot.
I mean, whoever this is should have gone to the Olympics if they didn't. I don't know.
I wonder why they didn't.
Well, they might have. I don't remember, did they? I don't. Well,
maybe
we'll see.
Maybe they just didn't make the cut.
They're going to make sure no one else does either. So now we've cut Joe out. He's not the red herring anymore because he's dead. And
Javelin Joe is gone.
One of the lesbian coach and Shelly. So I guess that wasn't the one she sat out, but they're in the coach's house, and Shelly is in
This
bed.
is where Coach Drew pimp manipulates the student.
So Shelly's like, "Why didn't I win? You told me you were going to coach me, and
I wanted you to win."
And she says something like that she doesn't have a chance unless Lynn drops dead.
Yeah. So they're raising another red herring.
Okay, so
yes.
is it the lesbian coach Drew,
or is it the
could it be
girl?
Shelly?
Is it the girl? She's her little concubine.
I mean,
she's playing games with her
would
head.
bet that it's whoever.
It's all pimp talk.
You know,
but yeah.
I would bet it's at this point. I would have bet it was a student because they're the ones on steroids. But anyway,
yeah. Roid rage.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, they got it all out with that paper towel fight.
So the coaches and the doctors are talking about missing athletes because at this point Joe's also missing.
At this point, yeah, they finally are getting down to like having a cup of coffee about it.
And then Annie practices bars after for like
spitting bars.
She has
dropping
to do.
bars.
She has to do 25 reps
Raps?
or something.
She has to rap 25 bars.
Reps.
Okay.
I thought there was a scene where she was taking pictures for someone and her coach is yelling at her and it's just for pictures, and I was just like, what the fuck? But I didn't see it in this version. So
in that meeting that the principals or the deans or whatever they are, the athletics people
it's
have,
just the athletic people.
they say basically the point of it is if you can't keep students from being murdered, you're fired.
Yeah.
And like that's when they adjourn the meeting. It's like if this happens again, it's gonna be. It's like you've got 3 missing.
Well, we
kids.
don't know they're murdered. Yeah, they're
Well,
like, where are they going?
2 of them don't have an alibi, and one of them does.
Well, it's not really an alibi.
That's an excuse.
I wouldn't call it an alibi though. That'd be like for a killer. But anyway, cut to a bar and Diane, therapist nurse Diane,
This
and
pathetic old washed up bar scene.
Coach Weber, the one that didn't get into the Olympics, they're complaining about the missing kids and
that they didn't get into the Olympics.
Well,
or
no,
he didn't.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He says he almost made the Olympics but didn't. Okay. Back to that red herring.
Or he also like winning is the only point. There's no other point.
Well, I guess in the Olympics.
Well, I mean, sure.
Yeah.
I'd say at this point he should have resigned already into being a coach.
And I mean, at this point, nationals is actually more important, the most important of winning, because that's how you're going to get to the Olympics.
You just got to play Joe Jackson and have your kids do it. Have your
Well,
kids
you
win the
can't
gold.
get second in nationals. Now at the Olympics, you can get second with a little integrity, but at the nationals, if you don't get first, you're not going to the Olympics at all.
Sure.
So it is the only thing, I guess. So we cut to Annie, and Phil wants her to come over, her
Phil's
boyfriend.
still horny.
Yeah. Or he says to come over to his place or a hotel.
Yeah, he tries to get her to a seedy motel.
Or at least get a burger.
Yeah. So then he takes her to
A Mexican restaurant.
Yeah, mariachi burgers.
Yeah, we see a mariachi band, and Phil walks in, and it's actually a surprise party for Annie because it's her birthday.
I wonder if she asked any questions on the way there. Just like, why are we going to Margaritas? They don't have burgers there.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know. She always seems to be asking questions and no one answers, so she's probably at this point like kind of done asking questions.
She knows that no man listens to her.
Or no one, period.
Yeah.
So she walks in. It's her birthday. It's a surprise. So they're going to get drunk and
her
stoned.
friends are already drunk.
Yeah, but they're also going to get stoned. All this stuff, and I
They're
was
going
like,
to get her laid.
hey, it's questionable of what age these kids are, because is this academy?
Early 30s.
They're definitely doing. No, I mean they're definitely doing textbook work.
Mm-hmm.
So as well as training, and I feel like they're like in high school, honestly. But okay, whatever. So Frank makes a sex joke about Annie and Phil, and then Phil forgot her birthday present at his place. Mm-hmm. Good excuse.
Classic move.
So, oh my God, they're going to go to his place. She's
After they bump into 2 cops while they're underage drunk coming out of a bar.
Maybe underage. I'm not sure their age. So.
They bump into 2 cops, and cops just let them go because they're white.
So finally Annie's going to go to his place, but that was only because she wants her present. Let's be real. And it's not sex. Like, she wants like a real present. I don't think she's like, no, I want sex. So we get to Phil doing 100 push-ups.
Oh, no, we cut to Phil humping the fucking floor.
Well, he's doing 100 push-ups because they're counting. And then he asks Annie to move in. He couldn't get her to go to his place, a hotel, or it was hard to get her to even say yes to a burger. But now he's asking her to move in.
Well, he's tried everything else.
But she says she doesn't want to make her parents unhappy. I don't think
It's
you
the
want
only girl on the planet that doesn't want to do that.
I don't. I'm very scared of that. I have a very big fear of disappointing.
You never want to piss your dad off?
No. I have a very big fear of disappointing my parents, which in return I seem to do all the time. But it's like my no.
Have they met any of your boyfriends?
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's not...
Well, I would say you've conquered that fear then.
No. No, it's still there.
I'm kidding.
But they do make fun of me for it.
Well...
with good I mean, listen, it's with good reason. So... Yeah. And not every boyfriend. They still like one. It's not like they don't dislike him either. They're just like, what were you doing? Anyway, like, how dumb. And it's because I don't have daddy issues, and I've blamed my dad for this. I was like, thanks for being a good dad, because now I like don't have to find like a father figure, and so like I always just date pussies.
Why did you pay attention to me, Dad? Why did you take me and do stuff with me?
He's like, I'm not taking.
I'm not like all the other girls.
I'm not taking like, oh, so I was a good dad, so like that it's my fault. And I was like, yes, he's not having it. So okay. Anyway, she says that she doesn't want to move in. She doesn't want to make her parents unhappy. When I don't think she really wanted to move in the first place, but whatever. She wants more wine, and Phil needs to take the trash out. And instead, he just picks her up and carries her.
No, he takes some of the trash out.
No, he doesn't. He just picks her up.
outside the door.
He throws her outside the door?
He throws a bunch of the trash outside the door, and then he grabs the last bag and tries to put her in it, and he says, I'm taking the trash out, which is the way you get girls in bed. Just call them trash. Worked for me.
Yeah. You know what? It might work on me if it was funny enough.
Well, you see,
you gotta have the timing, B. Arthur. You know, if you got that B. Arthur timing, calling me garbage might work.
Let's just say Phil didn't.
Listen, the pandemic happened, so calling me garbage is not going to be like a definite no.
Okay.
Like, so then
that's pretty crass, but it's been a minute. Get over here.
Yeah, I don't really appreciate you calling me like all these names, but. You know, if you're still willing.
But then he picks her up and carries her to the room. It's insinuated that Phil finally makes his connection.
Yeah.
But then the next scene,
He's on the phone with his dad.
In the middle of the night, and it's like, did you just skip over a whole 24 hours?
They're always... The phone is also outside of the academy. It's like a payphone.
And that's where they hang out.
Yeah. It's weird. Well, that's where they make plans anyway. But he's talking on the phone with his dad, and his dad told him that he got accepted to the Pirates summer camp in Pittsburgh for baseball. Now, that's not what he's training to do here. He's a track person. Yeah. He runs. And Annie comes up, and he's like, I have to do that this summer. I don't want to disappoint. She doesn't want to disappoint his dad either, because he was good at baseball. And she's like, but you run. And she's like, I thought we were spending the summer together. And they have an argument and whatever. She runs in.
Your future is happening, and my dad wants to pull me out of the academy and put me in public school? Yeah. Well, and this is what I was talking about. So, like, you know, basically he pulls her off her feet and, like, they go have sex or whatever. And then immediately cuts to, like, what it looks like 24 hours later. And it's like, this is what I mean by bad editing. Yeah. It's like, whoa, now he's just, like, on the phone out next to the school.
Yeah. So she argues with him, and it might have been that same night, and that's the only phone that exists. I don't know. I don't know where these people...
But she's coming out of the school.
I don't know where these people live either. It's confusing.
Or why they have apartments.
I don't know.
How
I don't know where
old are these people, and who are they?
I don't know. That's so confusing to me. But they get an argument. She goes back into the building because she's in the locker room crying in the next scene.
Crying in a sauna.
And the killer's after her. So
this killer also has a nice, very, very shiny tracksuit.
No, it's like an archer's outfit.
Is that what it is? I'm talking about the pants.
Like at this point, or whatever, fencing. It's a fencing outfit. No, that's in graduation. I'm sorry. No, that's in graduation day.
I was going to say it doesn't have the netting.
That's in graduation day. I'm sorry. Different, but a similar movie, not the same.
The track pants are very nice. Yeah, and the shoes are too.
So she doesn't really know she's being stalked at this point, but because she's very nonchalantly leaning, she gets out of the sauna and she's leaning on the balance beam in a towel, and then the coach, Coach Weber, and the doctor walk in,
who have been at the bar.
No.
I thought
not the nurse.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
It's just it's the doctor.
And also, it's 24 hours later. So what am I talking about?
Yeah, it's been a while. Dr. Jordan, that's his name.
Yeah.
The Coach Weber and Dr. Jordan walk in. The doctor puts a random javelin up that he sees on the ground.
Laying in the hall. Yeah.
And then the nurse Diane also shows up randomly, and Annie is found in the fetal position in the locker room crying, and she's in a lot of pain. Like, nothing's happened. Okay, she has not been attacked by a killer. Okay?
They hear her scream and run for her.
Yeah. And she's, so Nurse Diane helps Annie, and she,
they're talking about taking her to the hospital, and Diane says,
I'll take her to my house.
which is highly unorthodox when it comes to, I would imagine, faculty members, what they should do.
Well, the reason they don't want to take her is because they'll find the steroids. And so she says she'll take Annie to her place, and then the nurse calls the doctor, and she says, Annie had an attack, don't tell anyone.
But also, what kind of steroids are they giving these people?
Anabolic, I guess.
But that can't be the side effect. I thought it was just like small nuts and you get mad.
I don't really know. Maybe she just had a cramp. It doesn't really. Nothing's explained here. So
well, this is as far as that plot
she had
goes,
an attack,
for the most part,
quote unquote. What does that mean? I don't know. Then she shows a picture. Diane shows a picture of her mother who won the Olympics, and Annie's like, "Is she dead?" And Nurse Diane says, "No, she was famous and people respected her, and she's tried her whole life to be as good as her mom." And then instead of being any kind of sympathetic, to Diane, this whole thing she went on about with her mother.
All she did was give her a pillow and a blanket.
Annie goes, soon I'll be too old to compete. Help me, Diane. Mm-hmm. Okay. I mean, that's rude. Like, she just, told you about, she got vulnerable. And anyway, okay.
Soon I'll be like you, old. No.
Yeah. Phil finds Annie in the gym later, and he apologizes for his actions, and he's like, I am going to be a runner. That's what I am. So it cuts to Frank. He does gymnastics. He does parallel bars, and he falls during a practice, and he hurts his leg. It might be broken. Lynn's asking if it hurts. Okay, Lynn. She wants to go with him to the hospital, but he tells her to stay behind to be the champ for them both, because
you've got to be the champ.
He's out now.
I like how it's like giving his little Oscar award-winning speech.
Yeah. So we're assuming it's probably broken, but we don't really know yet. It cuts to Lynn swimming. It's not really this scene's not really amped up very much.
I like this scene.
I mean, but it's not like there's not that much suspense. She's just swimming and she gets javelined.
I think it's to tell you the truth, besides the javelin lifting the chick up, the Nancy in the beginning, I like this one the most just because you can tell it took the most effort to film for these people, because this is definitely shoestring budget material. Yeah. But I do like the underwater scuba javelin. Like, I also like that underwater, the killer's acting like it's going to throw the javelin and then swims up into her.
Oh, yeah. I didn't really think much of it.
The scene goes on a little too long, but I like it.
Maybe that's why I probably didn't see everything, because when that happens in movies, I stop paying attention.
I also don't know why a lot of these kids are practicing in the dark. Like, there's no lights on in that pool.
Yeah, I know, but it's because they're always practicing at night, extra.
And kids are going missing. You would imagine that they'd start turning the lights on, or at least telling them, "Hey, you need to. I know you're going for the Olympics, but you need to cut back on your fucking practice."
I mean, not killing. Sorry, winning is the only thing. So
I guess.
Well, clearly. So there's a meeting with the coaches after that. They find a pic of the team. They find a picture of the team, all the different sports for some reason are all in a picture together. This is also very, very reminiscent to Graduation Day, because there's a picture of the track team in that movie, and as people are killed off, they get marked out. So this picture that they find of the team, the kids in that picture that are dead
are X'd out.
They're X'd out, exactly like Graduation Day, which came out 3 years earlier. Then Frank's at the school, and he has a cast on, so yeah, he broke his leg. It cuts to Phil on the phone with Annie, and they're going to meet at the school. I don't know why are they all meeting at the school?
They love breaking into this place.
I think to find Lynn or something. they're going to find Lynn.
Yeah.
I guess. So yeah, Frank's broken into the school through the window.
And also, these kids, we'll come upon this later too, these kids don't know how to get out of the school when they break in, and all the doors are, like, I guess locked. They don't know a single emergency exit. They love breaking into this one bathroom.
It's one window, yeah. And I will be frank.
Wow.
I stopped watching. I really stopped paying attention.
Oh, you didn't want to watch Frank fucking hobble around the school for 20 minutes?
I literally could have gotten out, left my house, gone to the gas station, gone to McDonald's, ordered, like, with a line,
dude,
in the drive-thru,
forever.
and come back, and the scene would have still been going on. So he walks around for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
it's a
long
while.
Time, yeah.
And it feels longer. Finally, we get some kind of... The payoff is not really worth it, but finally, the payoff is that he finds all the dead bodies of the people that have been killed in different lockers.
But he only opens the ones that they're in.
Yeah. I don't know how he
never chooses an empty one.
Then the killer starts chasing him, which, he's at a disadvantage because
he runs
has a
pretty fucking fast.
Yeah, but he does have
with a broken leg.
He has a cast on, but he does
up and down stairs, man.
Annie gets in.
I think he still could have made nationals.
Yeah, he probably still could have. Well, he was doing gymnastics, so I don't think so.
I don't think that leg's broken that bad at all. You can do it.
Well, he won't be able to go to the Olympics. So Annie gets in, but she doesn't find Frank, because he's been javelined at this point. So she's looking for Frank. The killer starts chasing her, and she gets hit with the javelin, but only like on the side. I don't know how the killer was so, on the mark from the bleachers with Joe, and with every other death, but with her, well, it's because she's the final girl, but kind of
an unsuspecting final girl.
The killer just nicks like the side of her. So she's hurt, but she's not dead from it. And Phil walks in, and she's at this point, she's also found Frank. And the nurse Diane is being called for, and we see her taking the killer's outfit off.
Revealed.
It gets weirder, though.
There's more to show.
Or less.
Nah, depending on how you look at it.
Annie, she's like, okay, Annie, just lay here. I'll get bandages.
Mm-hmm.
Because no one saw her take the killer's outfit off except for the audience. So, Annie, though, sees a newspaper that's been left out for no reason. I don't know, like, how that one newspaper got left out. Maybe on purpose. I don't know. While she's laying there, she's seeing a newspaper saying a sex changed disqualified Diane from winning the Olympics as a woman, because she had gotten
a man.
She had gotten a sex change before the Olympics, and that they found out and disqualified her. So
why is this in more than one movie? It's like Sleepaway Camp, and I guarantee there's some more.
Because there's a lot of like transphobic
is that what
going on in the 80s in slasher movies. Yeah. I don't think as much in Sleepaway Camp. No. That will cut, because that's a whole different situation. She was not. Angela didn't want to be a man, or Peter didn't want to be a woman.
Yeah,
he was forced to. So it's a different story. So while this part really doesn't make sense, but the nurse notices that she sees it. Annie starts running, and Diane starts chasing her with the javelin, and her voice starts changing in and out from a man and a woman. Now that happens in possession movies poorly,
but it doesn't even seem very much like a man's voice.
It sounds like a possession.
Yeah, it's like, I wanted to disqualify you.
Yeah, it sounds like in Witchboard, when Tawny Katane finally, at the end, has been possessed, and she's it sounds like a shitty 80s quality possession voice.
Yeah.
So that's also harmful and transphobic. But anyway, it's not like trans people's voices go in and out of this weird ghost.
Also, why did the newspaper like humiliate somebody like that? They could have just been vague and not released the name.
Well, I don't think people would have cared. People didn't give a shit back then.
That's how you create these serial killers.
Yeah, well,
Diane cared, or Danny, or whatever the fuck his name was, Dennis.
Whatever it was before. So Diane says she can't stop him, talking about her inner him, from disqualifying anyone who might make it. Like,
so jealousy is the motive of all this.
But in this incident, she is a trans person, but the way that the people that wrote this movie look at trans people is that him is still inside of her, and it's a demon. So it's really
transitioning created a new person entirely.
And like,
ridiculous.
and it's like the person inside still, the him part is a demon now, basically, and because it's confusing, but it's basically like
and it goes back to whenever Diane was giving the massage while she was starting to get freaky on Annie.
Yeah, I guess, but well, no, I mean, that's questionable. But
then if it wasn't that, what would the point of that scene be?
I don't know, but I don't know. But there's a lot of scenes and shit that are pointless. So
with people just being rapey.
Yeah, I mean, in the 80s, they have random stupid scenes.
Yeah, I agree.
So so she's basically implying that it's not her. Diane's implying that it's not her killing people. It's the man still inside of her that is still upset about, not making the Olympics.
Also, another note is she's chasing Annie around this fucking gym, and like the place has power, so Annie's hiding, but she won't turn the lights on.
Well, maybe that's good. Oh yeah, Diane won't.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine she works there. She knows where they are.
So, well, doesn't really matter.
Not especially the effort she puts in at the end.
She gets. They start climbing up these stairs that go to the roof.
No, Annie does, because she runs into another room. It's
well, Diane does too, though.
No, because Diane
falls.
Diane runs in and starts trying to find her, and then runs out. Because whenever Annie's up there at the roof,
but Diane falls by falling.
Yeah, after she jumps through the skylight.
How'd she get up there then?
That we don't know. Because Annie's trying to get out through the skylight, and Diane jumps through. That's where all the glass comes from.
Yeah. But that is the end of the movie. I don't know what
she falls off and falls on a trophy that impales her, so she finally gets the gold.
Yeah,
she finally gets the trophy.
By the way, Phil was there for half a second. He left though, and he left Annie and Diane's care to get someone.
Phil has been a great dude this whole movie.
The movie's over though now, so
cue low rent Eye of the Tiger. Take it to the limit.
By the way, Fatal Games was the original title for Heathers.
Really?
It's an alternate title, yeah.
That makes a little bit more sense.
And the original title for this movie was The Killing Touch. So
that makes no sense.
Well, it's kind of funny, but so I already talked about how it's very similar to Graduation Day, from the opening montage to you don't know this when you're watching it, but the scene where Annie is getting massaged.
Yes.
That actress did not want to show nudity, so guess who came in and was her body double?
Ooh.
Linnea Quigley.
Oh, really?
And Linnea Quigley
hell yeah.
also was in Graduation Day, and she came in midway through that movie because of a nudity situation with another girl, but she wasn't just a body double. She didn't do body double in that one. She came in as a whole... She came in pretending to be the same character as if people weren't supposed to notice. And this one, she was just a body double. So, and Coach Drew's character,
what was also ironic about this movie is something like that. Whenever Frank breaks his leg, that wasn't a body double. Frank, the actor, he insisted on breaking his own leg. Yeah, but he's a method actor.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, who else are we talking about? Oh, Franklin from Paul Partain from TCM. The scene where Coach Drew, the lesbian, is in her apartment with her girlfriend, she kisses her on the forehead.
Like a pimp would do when you're manipulating.
But it's not because of that. That's not a manipulation tactic. It's because it was a compromise. because they were making this movie. The character that plays her girlfriend when they went on a hiatus for Christmas, she found God and came back, and she announced that she was a born-again Christian, and she refused to kiss another woman on the lips. So that's why Coach Drew's character.
Or maybe that was just her excuse because she was so tired right before that Christmas break of all these coked up directors going, come on, you two kiss. We're going to film it. And so, you're like, this is a horror movie, right? Yeah, whatever. Sure. Yeah, it's scary, isn't it?
Whatever. The original title, like I said, was The Killing Touch, and it was
that was whenever they were going to go through with it as a porno before everybody found God and wouldn't do nude scenes.
I have a VHS copy of this movie
under that name.
With that name. So it came out as that somewhere. And many of the actors kind of, did this movie and forgot about it or wanted to. But, people like this go to conventions and they are approached by slasher fans. And so many of these actors that were in this movie, they didn't know the name was changed to Fatal Games. So people would be like, were you in Fatal Games? And it wasn't because they didn't want people to know they weren't in the movie. It was because they literally did not know that they changed the name. So they'd be like, I was never in Fatal Games. What are you talking about? Yeah. Because they thought it was called Killing Touch. When asked by fans, I don't know how many fans, and I don't know, I wouldn't be able to see them on the street and be like, oh, they were in Fatal Games. Anyway, whatever. And it was filmed at the same high school as the movie Jawbreaker. Mm-hmm. There were frequent rewrites and new scripts were given to the cast almost daily. Don't know why.
That sex change really threw him for a loop.
I don't know what the budget was. I can't find anything about that. I think it was released for a short time in theaters.
I think the budget was like $5,000 and a 12-pack of beer.
But it was released by Impact Films, and then what was released.
That sounds like a porn distributor.
Or like something with ties to the mob, to launder money. But and then it was released. I think it was only. I don't know for sure, but I think it was in theaters for like a minute, and then it was picked up by Media Home Entertainment and released on VHS. There is no Blu-ray or DVD release of this movie. You've got to go to YouTube, or you can get it off of like bootleg DVD websites. You should. Okay, so we have the kills. One is Nancy Wilson. She's impaled by the javelin. Sue Allen, impaled with a javelin. Joe Ward, impaled with a javelin. Lynn Fox, impaled with a javelin. Frank Agee, impaled with a javelin. And this was all done by, quote unquote, the Falcon Academy Killer. And then our sixth death is the Falcon Academy Killer / Diane. She's impaled through the chest on a sports trophy after being kicked off of a lift by Annie Rivers. All right. So what and I also made a note that this is one of those movies that is problematic for the LGBTQ community, specifically the trans community, because it's wild.
It's dated.
Yeah, very dated. Very poorly dated. I mean, I would go so far as to say that this didn't age well. This is more. People always talk about Dress to Kill being harmful for that community, but I would go as far as to say that this is worse because of the whole demon inside thing. Whatever. So, how many stars do you give this out of 5?
I give it 1.5, 2.
Okay, so
mind you, that's not out of anger or spite. I did not enjoy this movie. It's just the editing is bad. Some of the acting's a little rough. The quality, like I said, the shoestring porno budget didn't bother me. I'll rent it out at a 2.
Yeah, I think I give it a 2 also because I give it.
This one didn't quite make the nationals.
No. Or definitely didn't make the Olympic. Well, it could have made the Winter Olympics this year.
No. Burn.
But, who cared about that? So
I don't know.
Me neither.
Luge is pretty
I gave it a 0.5.
Curling sucks.
I gave it a 0.5 for the camaraderie. There was some. So bad it's good, 0.5. The music, 0.5. The killer reveal, 0.5. That adds up to 2. The kills were, if I look at a movie and the kill is literally, I can, quote underneath it because it's the same fucking thing, you're not going to get a good kill count. Kill score out of me.
I will say this about the characters. The characters didn't have the worst character development in it, but the only one who was truly likable was Annie.
I thought Phil was okay.
That horn dog?
Yeah, especially when he like got vulnerable about the baseball and stuff.
Shit.
So anyway, yeah, so I give it a 2 out of 5 also.
Okay, yeah. I think that's right, yeah.
I think that's fair. So this is at the point where we say gagged on different parts of the movie. There's not a lot though. So stay gagged on a javelin.
Stay gagged on that gold medal, cuz.
Yeah. Stay gagged on that newspaper.
Stay gagged on that weird lesbian nurse and lesbian coach.
And stay gagged on, weirdly acting. Stay gagged on all of our social media, Instagram, TikTok, and go to our website, gagmewithaknifepodcast.com to buy our merch. And we will see you next time.
Stay away from weird massages.
Yeah, and stay away from the Olympics, I guess.
Don't be an elite. Be an elite college member. Or is this college or high school?
We don't know. We never found out.
All right, stay out of Ivy League schools.
The Summer Olympics are pretty cool, though. I mean, at least gymnastics. I watch that. So
she likes that shit.
I do. Okay, see you guys.
Bye.
Take it to the limit and don't look back now. Take it all the way. No second chance, you're on your own now. Winning isn't everything. Winning is the only thing. Take it all the way. Ain't no other way. Being first, that's all that matters. Go all the way. 'Cause no one else can do it better. Remember this and you'll never fall. The winner always takes it all. Take it all the way. Can you feel the spirit rise? The winning look is in your eyes. Soon you're gonna make your dreams come true. So take it to the limit. Just give it all you gotta give, yeah. Don't look back now, take it all the way. No second chance, you're on your own now. Winning isn't everything. Winning is the only thing. Take it all the way. Take it all the way. Give it all you gotta give, yeah.